Welcome to Planet MicroCap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me today is Joseph Nakhla. He is the founder and CEO of Tribe Property Technologies. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you: TRBE on the TSX Venture and TRPTF on the OTCQB. And Tribe Property Technologies will be presenting at our upcoming in-person investor conference, the Planet MicroCap Showcase Vancouver, happening September 6th and 7th, 2023. For more information, to meet Joseph, to see his presentation, to meet with him one-on-one, please go to planetmicrocapshowcase.com. And with that, Joseph, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for inviting me, Robert.
Absolutely. It's great to have you, and we're excited to see your presentation in Vancouver. And this is actually our first time doing an interview together. So can you start us off with that quick overview and history of the company?
Absolutely. We are a traditional prop tech company in the sense that we wanted to take a piece of residential living, in our case, around property management for people that live in condos, and we wanted to attack it with technology and improve that experience. Anybody that's ever lived in an HOA or a condo corporation, and I only use these words interchangeably for both the US and Canada, or even stratified communities. These are essentially a whole bunch of homeowners that live together in one community, and we actually are the alternative to a traditional property management company. So most of these communities are managed by a property management company. We started building pure software for these communities. We very quickly realized that traditional property management is essentially broken, or can catch up to the 21st century. So we started to use more and more of our software as the catalyst, essentially, to help us manage these communities better. And then eventually we decided to do the full plunge into property management and actually replace the traditional property management companies in the space they're in. So 2018, we start managing our very first building. And as of today, we have almost 45,000 homes under management, and there's only 3 national players. The first 2 are traditional, and the third is our company, Tribe.
Very good. So what would you say, was or is, not was, but still is probably, the problem with property management? And what would you say what is Tribe doing to help solve some of those issues using your technology platform?
Yeah, that's a great question. The very first thing we felt was really needed was, we should be thinking of a community or a building, those big towers that we drive by, downtown cores and massive communities that we see. We should really be thinking of them as corporations. As a matter of fact, that is the language that's being used there. They usually have a budget. It could be $1.5 million, $2 million. But the assets itself is in excess of 100 million, 150, 200 million. And there's thousands of activities that are occurring in there that are either governed by a federal law, provincial or a state law, and or its own community law. So imagine the complexity associated with that. What was ailing traditional property management companies is the lack of digitization, the lack of access to that essentially they have data, and it's not really digitized, it's just sitting in boxes. And now how do you turn that into information? And how do you also start making decisions on behalf of these communities to help them navigate through it? So anybody that a friend of yours that's ever lived or owns a condo or in an HOA, or lives even in a rental building that's owned by a big REIT, they will all have the exact same frustrations. It usually starts with, terrible communication. I can't get anybody to care or answer my questions. They don't know where to give me answers. And it goes all the way from a complexity point of view to, what is the budget? How are we preventively maintaining this community? How do we ensure that the value of my home, which is attached to another 200 homes in this building, is actually going to sustain its value, and everything in between? So really, the first thing we felt that we needed to tackle was digitize these communities and actually introduce smart workflows that can allow decision makers, whether it's a homeowner, condo corporation, or HOA member, property manager, or even a vendor, to actually make good decisions on behalf of the community and save them money.
Absolutely. So I know we're recording this on Thursday, August 17th. The company announced, I think you're going to have your second quarter results coming out August 30th. So, I mean, from a dollars and cents perspective, from what's publicly available, you mentioned that you have 45,000 homes, something like that, so from a dollars and cents perspective, give us an idea of how the company is performing currently.
Yeah, so to quantify things, we've indicated to the street we'll be around the $20 million recurring revenue for 2023. We've essentially we're considered a Fast 50 company in Canada. We were number 25 last year. That indicates approximately 500% growth over 4 years in terms of the revenue recurring line. We're not profitable yet, but we're taking some very strong steps towards that. And the main reason behind that, frankly, is the concept of building a national infrastructure. We're a unique company in that even though we're arguably the smallest in size of the top 3 on a national footprint in Canada, but we are actually fully national. If we deal with a developer building brand new community anywhere in the country, we can support them. We have the boots on the ground. We have the tech that is smart enough to understand how every province and every market where they're building in can operate. So that was our infrastructure built, and it's completed. And now we're starting to reap the benefits of the hyper growth happening in those markets.
Very good. And what's your background? I mean, you're the founder of this company. What were you doing prior to this?
Well, as from an educational point of view, I studied civil and structural engineering, but don't hold that against me. I've always been intrigued about the way people live in homes and communities and buildings. After that, I was the COO of a company called TO Networks, which was a great successful company out of Vancouver, and it sold to PayPal in 2017. I was also in MicroCap for a long time, and had a great exit. And then after that, I started Tribe.
Very cool. Yeah, Hamid's going to be speaking in that Planet MicroCap Showcase Vancouver.
Amazing guy, amazing entrepreneur, and I'm a happy shareholder of his company. So
very cool. All right, well, this doing short form today. I invite everybody to come and see Tribe's presentation in Vancouver. So to close this out here, Joseph, from what you can tell us, what would you then say are some of the company's growth drivers for the rest of 2023, now going into 2024?
Yeah, so 2 big things about us. One is we are the go-to company now for anybody building brand new communities in Canada. So the overwhelming majority of the developers in Canada building these master plan communities actually work with us to digitize all these communities, even pre-completion for all the workflows. In addition, we also have a really solid pipeline of recurring business. These are agreed upon contracts, signed contracts for the future. So that will, even though it doesn't show up in our revenue right now, it actually constantly keeps added in as these communities are completed. And then the other big massive catalyst, which we didn't touch on today, is that part of our growth strategy has been rolling up traditional property management companies, whereby we actually acquire smaller, mid-sized companies that are actually operating in markets that we like. They're cash generating. We usually acquire them, convert into our service delivery model. So C has been very, very active in that market, and we really like the GTA market. That's an area that we're looking to make some moves in the next couple of quarters.
Very good. All right, so we're there. Joseph, where can our audience go and find more information on Tribe Property Technologies?
TribeTech.com.
Very good. Joseph, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe, and I'll see you in Vancouver.
Thank you, Robert. Looking forward to seeing you as well.
Thank you.